Good Monday morning, guys. We finally had some rain after 8 weeks. You see those leaves there? They're not falling just for the natural progression of fall. They're just dying from lack of rain. But we had a good soaking this morning. You can see down here on the concrete, it's still wet. Hear my crows. I'm just thankful. Oh, let me take you over here and show you my Confederate rose. We had a storm come through Saturday evening, and it's so big that it pulled it down, so we've tied it to a stake. Y'all ever see a bush that blooms pink and white at the same time? Well, you're looking at one. White blooms and pink blooms. This is an old plant called the Confederate rose. And this was actually pulled up from one of the dear saints of God from our church, Sister Jerry Dodd. Oh, you're a loud one this morning. And it was actually pulled up. I asked permission because her daughter had moved out of state at that time, and I asked permission to get it. And look how beautiful. Let me see if I can move over here. It had a lot of blooms. We had a storm come through Saturday with a lot of wind, but there you can see a better view of it. Let me see if I can zoom in. Look at them. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I love old plants. So, for those of you that have never seen my back side party house porch, this is it. It's not screened in, it's out in the open. Kind of makes you feel like you're up in the mountains when you're up here. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That little piece of furniture is about had it. You can see the seat is worn out in it. And we put our, we bought a new sectional this year and put it there. We love it. We have our TV up here. It's officially cool enough to have a get-together and watch ball games. This, when we built the house, this was part of the deck, and just this past year we covered it as well. So I love it. I love it. I need to be out here studying my Bible instead of inside the house. So a lot of the furniture is older. Hey, I love the eclectic look in furniture. I don't like anything, especially outside, matching. This is a beautiful place. You see my little light shining through there. I just dumped a whole bunch of clothes on the couch to fold. Yes, this is what your house looks like when you're, y'all, I haven't done my fall home tour, but look how pretty. These are actually new that we got from my cousin in Georgia this year, and they are early 1800 pictures. Aren't they beautiful? I thought I would just sit down and just talk with you a little bit this morning. I got washing going. My mother had an early appointment in Birmingham at the doctor, but my precious brother offered to take her. He knew I needed a little bit of a rest. And as you can see, there's my porch out there. I love this little light that John bought me because I can just put it right down. Let me show you. Journaling with all my stickers. And this is my prayer journal. I like to decorate it a little bit. Totally not, I've not even planned to turn the camera on this morning. I wanted to get some teaching videos done today. But most importantly, I was drawn to sit down. Well, and it's not even morning, it's 12 o'clock now. Mornings are very hard for me. I've said that to y'all on many occasions because with chronic fatigue and all, it's just mornings are hard. If you go through that, you know, and if you don't, praise God that you don't know. But mornings can be very, very hard for me, and sometimes it takes me a while to get started. Thankfully, around 11 or 12 o'clock, it's like I finally start kind of coming alive. And my mom, sometimes people can just know the wrong things to say at the wrong times. And of course, she's 92 and she doesn't understand. And she said, well, I just don't understand that because I never was like that. I still get up like a house afire. And I said, well, good, Mama. I said, but you're not dealing with the things I'm dealing with. And I said, and for 38 years, I did the same thing because I was at work by 7:30 every morning. But this is just the place that I am. But I'm going to fold some clothes. I've got 2 big baskets of laundry, of towels and stuff to fold. I'm washing some more towels. And then I just went in there, and a lot of John's shirts are dirty. So I got a good bit of washing to do today. This is actually going to be a semi-quiet day for me, which is very rare. I have the boys Wednesday. I have Bible study Thursday night. And so that means I'll probably do something with Mother tomorrow. And the weeks fly by so quickly. But I just wanted just to say to you this morning, if some of you are praying for very difficult things in your lives, in your family's lives, in your children's lives, right now, I have found something on Pinterest that I felt compelled to write. I'm writing a section for my grandchildren. And I'm praying, and it gives different ways to pray for them. And the first one's conviction of sin, free from the needs of others' approvals. And I'm currently on experience God as their rewarder. And that really hit me. John and I love to buy little things for Reed, Rhett, and Riggs. It seems like it's dwindled some with 3. I think you do more with your first one. Reed he had very specific little things that he liked when he was little. Toy Story was big back when he was little. And he carried a Woody, a little figurine, in his hand at all times. Either that or the little cars from the movie Cars. And he would lose them. And you know what Papa would do? Papa would go and buy 2 or 3 and store them up for him so that he was never, because Reed kept something in his hand from the time he was, 6 to 8 months old up till he was up to about 3 or 4. He kept something in his hand all the time. The other boys have not done that as much, but Reed did. So it says here, there's so many pitfalls for a young or even an old person to fall into. Drugs, alcohol, gambling, cutting, sex, anorexia, and the list goes on. These things promise some sort of fulfillment, some sort of escape. It's important that our children and grandchildren learn to run to God as their rewarder, because only He can satisfy, and He promises to do just that. And I was just thinking that is something that I'm going to discuss with my boys in the next few weeks, that the same way that when they express they want a little toy or something, that Gingen and Papa are always there to give that to them. But as they, even starting now, they need to know that their actual rewarder is God. That only He, see, those little toys are so temporary. The kids love to go to McDonald's and they love to get Happy Meals. And they rip into those little packages, and 9 times out of 10, my boys are through with them in just a matter of time. And it's because the excitement, my boys have always loved opening gifts more than they did playing with them long term. So it's like the thrill of receiving, the thrill of a gift. And, some people have shopping compulsions because they constantly need to feel the need to purchase. And lots of times that is to fill a void in their life. But Lanny Wolfe wrote the song years ago that only Jesus can satisfy your soul. And only He can change your heart and make you whole. He'll give you peace you never knew, sweet love and joy, and heaven too. And only Jesus can satisfy your soul. He satisfies your soul. Only Jesus can satisfy your soul. And only He can change your heart and make you whole. He'll give you peace you never knew, sweet love and joy, and heaven too. For only Jesus can satisfy your soul. Oh man, I can just hear Lynette Chapman playing the piano behind me on that one. Lynette's one of my subscribers from Oklahoma, and she tears up a mean piano. But only Jesus satisfies our soul. And when I read that this morning, I thought, I want to instill in them that what Papa and I give them is just temporary. They'll get tired of them, you know, in the Toy Story's made a comeback. And, you know, in Toy Story, the young boy gets tired of Woody and his arm gets pulled loose and all this. I haven't seen the latest one, but in one of the other ones, because trust me, I have to watch them. And, you know, we get tired of things and they get to the point to where they don't satisfy us. And so we're looking for something new. That's the reason a lot of divorces happen, is because a husband thinks, my wife's not doing it for me anymore. Or a wife thinks, oh man, what am I missing out on? The grass is so much greener on the other side. If only I had this man, I would be happy. No. Only Jesus can satisfy your soul. Only God is the true rewarder of our lives. You know, I'm watching it all around me. People searching for happiness, for peace, for joy, for fulfillment. That's what I see a lot, is people are not fulfilled. And they're not fulfilled because they don't have peace in their life. They don't have contentment in their life. If you're constantly having to buy something that you don't need, what are you trying to feel in your life? What are you trying to feel? It's one thing to shop for something that you need. And John and I enjoy a certain amount of fun shopping, like with the Ray Dunn and different things, but we're not in excess with it. You know, I got up yesterday, and when the weather is shifting, if anybody with chronic pain, if you have chronic pain, you know the barometric pressure affects pain. I got up yesterday morning, I can't hardly move. We went to the ball game Saturday, and so we leave here at 10:30 to go to church. And 9:30, I was still sitting here. And I could have decided to just sit here and watch it online, but I said, you know what? Lord, give me the strength to get up and to get in that shower and to get ready. I don't take hours to get ready like a lot of people do. I can sling my makeup on in no time, but I did have to wash my hair. But I got up and I made a decision that regardless how I felt, I was going on. And I'm just telling you, within the first praise song, my feet were hurting, my legs were hurting. When I have a bad flare-up, even my rib cage hurts. My ribs were hurting. But the longer I stood there and took the focus off what was going on with me, and I submitted praise unto Him, the better I got to feeling. The better I got to feeling. Now, I never did really perk up and feel 100% the whole time, but my, how the Lord ministered to me. He is my rewarder. What He did, and I'm telling you, the praise and worship was just awesome. And if y'all don't have a church and you want to watch our church services, they're on YouTube now. They're on YouTube Live on Sunday mornings, Summiton Church of God Live, SUMITON. And then they put it on live, the full thing, right afterwards. And I think they even go back and do an edited copy of just the sermon. So if you want to subscribe to Summiton Church of God Live, you'll get to experience. Of course, it's not as good on there as it is when you're there. But I could have stayed home and I could have watched it, but I still wouldn't have felt or received what I did by going. And what God did, he said, Suzanne, I know you're struggling this morning. I want to reward you. He's my rewarder. He's my satisfier. He satisfies the need. I was tired when I left church. I had a busy evening. I had mentoring for about 3 hours Sunday evening, but I was tired, but it was rewarding. So sometimes we have to push through to receive those rewards that God has for us. Well, I'll just say this. We do have to push through. I push through physically sometimes, but when I sit here in this chair like I'm doing this morning, I'm having to push through mentally, thinking I need to be folding those clothes, I need to be doing this, and take time to talk to God, to meditate upon his word. You know, I've told, and Ashley and I even talked about this, when I keep all 3 boys, I'm wiped out. They're all 3 wanting my attention. They're all 3 wanting something at the same time. And I'm like, how does she ever get a chance to read the Word of God and get anything out of it? And so what I've told her, you get a devotional book. And if you read 1 verse a day and dwell on that, what that verse means to you, how it applies to your life, God will touch you for that. He will reward when you push through the mental strain, the emotional strain. I know of women right now that are fighting for their marriages and for their family. And they're having to fight through that emotional and mental strain to get there. But God is taking care of them. So, you know, I love to go to Home Goods, TJ Maxx, some of my favorite places because I love to decorate. But those things that I buy are so temporary. They're temporary. They're great to find, and you get them home, and then one of these days you're going to pack some of it up and send it to the Hannah Home or to Goodwill because you're ready to change it into something else. And see, that's what's so good with God. Somebody brought up the word the other night in mentoring that God is constant. And I had not thought of that as a term for him in a long time. He is constant. And constant means, I told the girls, the ladies of the night in Bible study, it's da 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 da. Woo! Now he's not like that because that would be annoying. But that's how constant he is. And he's probably like da 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 da. That's probably what he's really like. So he's a constant source of help, of strength, of power, of joy, of grace, of mercy, of love in my life every day. And I praise him for that today. And I pray today that you just remember, when I read this, I just said, I'm going to sit down and talk a minute. When I read this, I just thought, God, you are our rewarder. Not that we're looking for a reward as is in a gift, but he does give us mercy and grace every day, which are divine gifts. But also that he's constant, that he's always with us, that he never leaves us. He never forsakes us. He never gets mad at us. He never blocks us on Facebook. He is constant. So quit trying to fill your life with things that are not from God. Women, quit looking for men that are not supposed to be in your life. And men, quit looking for women that's not supposed to be in your life. Children, teach your children that toys are just a simple pleasure of life. They're temporary, but God is eternal. I'm so thankful that I don't need a drink, that I don't need a pill, that I don't need a certain song, that I don't need a new outfit to make me feel complete. I can sit here in this t-shirt. It says, your brokenness is welcomed here. That's our church t-shirt. And I can sit here in a pair of leggings from Walmart and be just as happy as I can be, because He is my rewarder. He is ever with me. He's looking out for me. He wants what's best for me. And I'm going to tell you, if you could bottle contentment and sell it, you would be a millionaire. You would be a billionaire. Because that's what people's looking for, is contentment. But only Jesus can satisfy your soul. I love y'all. Thank you for letting me just come in and just chit-chat with you today. I love you guys. I'll be back with more videos soon. Love you. Bye-bye.